Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I hope that you guys are enjoying your day. So honey, we are back with some more tea concerning Diddy Combs and his children. This time we are talking about Quincy Combs, I'm sorry. Quincy Combs, as you may know, was adopted by P. Diddy back in the day. But Quincy Jones' father, he is the biological son of Kim Porter. He was adopted by Diddy Combs when he was a child, but his biological father is AlBSure. He was once married to Kim Porter. Um, and so Quincy Combs and his biological father have really always kind of been at odds. And some people think, as well as I, choose to think that allegedly the wedge between Quincy and his biological father, Albie Shore, has always been Sean Diddy Combs. Now, Sean Diddy Combs is known for, kind of wanting what other people have. And I'm not sure if um, the reason why Quincy has always been at odds with his father is because of Diddy Combs, or is because of the relationship between the two. Because Albie Shore is actually getting dragged online for asking, his son to come home. So in a message on Twitter, after the Diddy's homes was raided, Albie Shore posted this message to his biological son Quincy Combs, and he says, "Come home. The door is wide open. You're safe here, son." He says, "I love you." And he says, "Pops, you're biological." And so for a long time, it's been reported that part of the reason that Albie Shore and Diddy don't get along actually is because of his son. When Kim Porter passed away from alleged pneumonia, alleged poisoning. After that, Albie Shore, he had a major health scare. He almost died from an unknown illness, but he came back from it. And since he came back from that unknown illness after Kim Porter passed away, he has been speaking out more. He has been more vocal, and he has been trying to not only get his son back, but he is wanting justice for what happened to Kim Porter, right? And so anyway, along with Albie Shore speaking out, trying to get Quincy to come home, letting him know that it's a safe space. Somebody is also speaking out. The Department of Homeland Security has responded to Diddy Combs because Diddy Combs came out recently, calling his homes being raided a witch hunt. And I will read this to you. It says that Sean Diddy Combs recently blasted Homeland Security's raids of his homes in Los Angeles and Miami as a quote unquote witch hunt. Homeland Security insiders are revealing that this isn't a witch hunt, and they are speaking to several witnesses, and they are providing a lot of information. Plus, singer Albie Shore, like I said, pleads for his biological son Quincy to come home amid Diddy's legal troubles. Albie Shore really is trying to get his son out of this situation, and not Albie Shore is not the only one wanting his son to get out of this situation. Misa Hilton, Quincy, Christian Combs' mom, has been fighting with Diddy and his staff for years to leave her son alone. But unfortunately, that is not working either. But anyway, a source from Homeland Security, has spoken out in the New York Post. Actually, yesterday, right? It said the caption of the title of the article. I'm gonna read you guys a couple of excerpts. Says Sean Diddy Combs alleged victims talking a lot. Feds claim quote unquote concrete, detailed, explicit allegations of X trafficking. Right. So the article goes on to read that federal officials were acting on specific allegations of X trafficking when they raided two of Diddy's homes on Monday, and they say his alleged victims have not been holding back during the interviews. An officer with the Department of Homeland Security told the Post, um, the case has the case has been active for several weeks as authorities investigate a range of allegations against a 54-year-old rap mogul. The article goes on to state that, quote, we believe that there is a disturbing history of S trafficking unquote, said the Miami-based officer who spoke under conditions of anonymity. He goes on to say, quote, we are responding to concrete, detailed, explicit allegations. This is not random. We didn't choose his name out of a hat. We had allegations that we're following up on, right? And so the officer is letting the post know that, hey, we have concrete evidence. Now we have learned that a lot of this concrete evidence has allegedly come from Little Rod's lawsuit against Diddy and several others, and he has photographic as well as audio information when it comes to the alleged crimes that Diddy is allegedly being accused of, right? And so I think that's what they mean by concrete evidence. And so the article goes on to state that he has also not been charged with any crime or wrongdoing at this stage. And like I said, this is from the New York Post. There's a quote, another quote from the anonymous officer that says, "We became aware of certain allegations during the course of the civil lawsuits against Mr. Combs," said the officer. "You have to understand that we don't just decide on a whim to search his homes. A federal judge has signed off. This isn't a quote unquote witch hunt, because we know that Diddy called the raids of his home a witch hunt, right?" And so the undercover officer is saying that this is not random. We have proof. This is not a witch hunt, right? So the article goes on to state that the officer tells the Post that they are looking for photos, emails, texts, itineraries, hopefully names, that there are specific communications that we are aware of that we will be able to access on the electronics, unquote. The multi-agency investigation is being spearheaded by the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York. The article goes on to state that, quote, he is not under arrest. He is under investigation, unquote. The law enforcement source made clear. There's another quote that says, quote, he is free right now to do what he wants, but he is aware that if changes come down, we will get him wherever he is. And I believe that officer stated that because people were speculating Monday that Diddy was on the run, because we know his private jet landed in Antigua, but he was actually being detained at the Miami Opa-locka airport, right? With his children boarding another jet, right? And he was stopped, detained. One of his people was arrested for having drugs on him, and we talked about that. But anyway, the article goes on to state that some allegations of assault, abuse, and trafficking against him have continued, particularly in another bombshell lawsuit filed by his former videographer and producer Rodney Lil Rod Jones. Diddy has maintained his innocence, but the suit has put a spotlight on other names close to him, including his son Justin and his former public bae, Young Miami. Now we know that Young Miami has been included in the lawsuit, her as well as her female cousin. It is said that Young Miami was also transporting illegal substances for him from one place to another. It's been allegedly, and she is also, according to a lawsuit, allegedly on a S worker payroll that he paid monthly to not only Young Miami, but women like Daphne Joy, who is the mother of 50 Cent's son, and also a girl by the name of Jade Ramey. And those are a few of the women that he allegedly had on payroll for his FOs, that were working, for him, right? So the article goes on to state that this is another article that says, meanwhile, Quincy has seemingly kept his public distance from Diddy. Now we know that Christian and King were found in a home and detained in LA, but Quincy has allegedly been keeping his distance, being out of the spotlight. He doesn't want his reputation marred because he is a grown man. He is in the industry also, and I'm sure he does not want his career derailed behind what his adopted father has been doing. He don't want to be implicated in none of this. And correct me if I'm wrong, I didn't see Quincy's name in any of the court documents that have been updated when it comes to Little Rod's lawsuit against Diddy and several other people. But like I said, once again, meanwhile, the article states that meanwhile, Quincy has seemingly kept his public distance from Diddy. Earlier this month, he seemingly skipped out on Diddy's Nobu family dinner with sons Christian and Justin. He did not attend the dinner that was planned with his adopted father as well as Christian and Justin. So I'm thinking Quincy don't want to have nothing to do with it. And also, since the raids have come about, people have been asking, wondering if Diddy is still in the country. We know that he was keeping a low profile in Miami, but in a TSR exclusive, he was spotted having dinner with his sons Quincy and Justin in LA. So he's gone from Miami to LA. And people were also speculating that the reason why he was keeping a low profile as well, they were speculating that he was also allegedly had several decoys at his home in Miami. And we know now though that he is now in LA with Justin and King Combs. Now some people are also speculating that this is merely a publicity stunt because we know that Justin and King Combs were left behind and they were detained in the LA home, right? So Diddy has gone to LA and allegedly he is now, or he was, at least I believe last night or night before last, with his sons in LA, right? So the Shade Room says that Diddy's been keeping it low in Miami, but he's back in LA and out with his boys. Hashtag Justin Combs and hashtag Christian Combs. Head over to our stories, for more tea and pics, about what is going on pretty much, right? And so anyway, like I said, Diddy was last spotted in LA with Justin and King. We don't know where in the world Diddy is at the present time. We do know that Diddy has access to come and go as he pleases. He still has his passport. His jet, interestingly enough, was spotted at the Miami executive airport. So his black jet, Diddy's jet, has landed back in Miami. It is, as of yesterday, his jet was spotted at the Miami airport. So we don't know if the plane has taken off again or if it's still there. We don't know if Diddy is still in LA while his jet is in Miami. We don't know if Diddy is still in the Americas, right? But he still has his passport. He still is allowed to come and go as he pleases, even though he is under investigations. But Homeland Security replied that if things change and he it's time for him to be detained, they're going to find him and arrest him wherever he is. Okay, so nowhere is far enough for Diddy basically to flee, allegedly from Homeland Security. They're going to get him no matter where he is. But anyway, that's all I got. Thank you guys for watching the video. Please hit the like button. Please hit the share button. Please subscribe to the channel. And after you subscribe to the channel, please hit the notifications bell so that you will be notified the next time that I post another video. Thank you guys so much. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye. Peace.